Okay, so now let's dive into some solos here. We've already had the intro solo in a previous lesson. So this is going to be solos number 2 and 3 that we're going to be working on here. So this first one's going to start and sounding kind of like this. I'm sorry. All right, so let's take a look at that one. So we're going to start with a unison bend here. There's going to be your first finger at the 9th fret on the 1st string, and then your 3rd finger at the 12th fret on the 2nd string. And when you pick those two strings, you're going to bend the 3rd finger up a whole step till that note on the 2nd string matches the note on the 1st. And you're going to do that twice. After you do it, always kind of pick the 1st string a couple times after it. So you do the bend, kind of gives it just some more edge. And then we have, now after you've done that, you should be at the full bend here, the 2nd bend. You're going to pick that and release. And when you do that bend, see, I did it and I released down, and then I picked 3 times, and then come over and pick the 11th fret on the 3rd string, and then you got to pick 9 and 11 together. The 9 being on the 3rd, and that 9 being on the 2nd string, and you're going to do another unison bend here. When you're on these 2 string sets, you only have to be 2 frets apart to do that, not the big 3. So, and when you get to the top of that bend, you can put some vibrato on that. All right, so all together. And then we have this little one. This is pretty easy. Slide to the 11 on the 4th string, and then 9 on the 3rd. Then slide 11 to 13 with your 3rd finger on the 3rd string. Then come over to the 12 on the 2nd string and 14. So we get this. Now when you get to that 14, you're going to do it a bend. Then you're going to pick the bend when it's already up at the top of the bend. Release, come back to 12, and then do the bend again on the 14th. So I'm going to go real slow here. All right, then we're going to stay at the 14th fret, but instead of bending it just a whole step this time, we're going to bend it a step and a half. So we're going to try to make this sound like the 17th fret. And this part, you're going to have to really use your ear here. You're going to do the bend to the 17th fret, and then you're going to release the bend just a half step. So the note's going to come back down to where it would just be a whole step, and then back up to the half step. Let me just demonstrate. See that? I kind of lowered it back down to where the bend was only a whole step bend, and then I raised it back up to the half step. Okay, and then you're going to pick that full bend a couple of times when it's bent up after you get there again. Then we're going to go 12 and 14. Then come back to the 12 and do a whole step bend, and then pick it flat. So we got this. You didn't hear me come back down. It just went. When you get to the top of that bend, you let off pressure or kill it with your pick down here. And then, so all together that goes. All right, some nice little bending lines there. Then we have this last lick in this this first solo we're doing in this video. So let's take a look at that. We start at the 9th fret with your first finger, the 3rd string. Then a whole step bend at the 11, then 9 on the 2nd and 9 on the 1st. That kind of standard Chuck Berry lick there. Now when we get to this part, we start speeding up just a little bit. We do a half step bend, just a slight bend on the 12th fret on the 2nd string with the 3rd string. Come back to that 9 on the 1st string. So far we get this. Then 12 and 9, 12 to 9 on the 2nd string. Then back to that bend at the 11, and 9 again on the 2nd and 1st. Then come back down, 12, then 9 on the 2nd string, then 12, 11, 9 on the 3rd, and then 11 on the 4th string. Then back over to the 11 on the 3rd string and do a quick slide up to the 13th fret. Just like that. And then come down to the 9. And this is the last note, but after this note, you just kind of got to just throw it up the string. Throw it, just slide up and down the string. Let me play through that last section again. All right. Okay, now let's take a look at, first of all, after this solo, which was the 2nd solo, it goes back to the verse section again, which we've already talked about. Then we go back into doing another solo. So basically, just after every verse, he's going into a solo. So we're going to start this 3rd solo here, and it's going to sound like this. All right, let's go through that. We're going to start here at the 9th fret with your 3rd finger. So it's like 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. That little rhythm there. Just right there on the 3rd string, 9th fret. Then after you've done that little rhythm twice on it, you're going to pick it again and slide it to 11. Then pick 11 and slide it to 13. And then play 11 on the 4th string. So get this. All together. Then we come back to some unison bends again, but this time instead of hitting, we're going to just do the bend on the 2nd string first at the 12th fret. And then pick the 9th twice after you've done the bend on this string. And then the 2nd time doing the bend, you're actually going to bend them, hit both strings together, and then pick the 9 twice there too while that's still doing. So let me do this together. This by itself, then pick 9, then together. Now we do that like we did before. Pick that 12, release it, then grab 9. And then come over to the 3rd string and do 3 bends at the 11th fret. 3 whole step bends. All right, so. All right, so after we got this full bend, this last full bend going, we're going to pick it and release. Then 9, then 11 on the 4th string. Okay, and then we're gonna go back up, 9, 11. When you get to 11, do a full step bend. So we get this. Then to the 9 and on the first and the second and first string. So see what we're doing there? That same lick. Then let's start moving up. We're gonna take the 12th fret here with your first finger, and your third finger on the second string. Slide it to 14, then 12, then 14. So all together we have the. Okay, so we got this 14, then you're gonna do a bend. Then you're gonna pick it again and release it. And go to 12. So this is going to be liquid. We're going to do this. All right, so after you get that 12 and 14 there, do the bend and release. You're going to pick it and release, the bend, 12, back to 14, do the whole step bend, but hold it there. Don't bring it back down, just kill it, and then come back to 12, and have that bend pretty much almost there before you hear the note. And then pick that flat. So get this. Then come over to the 14 on the second string, and then 12 on the first string, and then we're going to do the bends at the 14th fret, whole step bends on the second string. Now you see that some of those are pre-bends. So I'm doing a bend up, pick it flat, then a pre-bend, and then down, then pre-bend, and release that pre-bend, and then slide from 11 to 13 to end the solo. Okay, now we're on our way to the slide guitar solo and the big solo towards the end. All right, so stay tuned for that section. It's coming up next.